Welcome and thank you for joining us here today with the Retriever News Station. Today we'll be discussing laws that have a negative impact on women and their sexuality. We have 4 scholars joining us here to discuss abortion, salary, child marriage, and maternity leave. Here I have David Ramsey from Tulane University to discuss child marriage. David, are there any laws protecting child marriage?
Well, the first thing to consider is that marriage is a legal institution, and there's plenty of legislation worldwide that protects child marriage. Now, in the overwhelming majority of these cases, only the female is underage in child marriage. Now, these girls, I should say, not women, because they are children, are susceptible to coercion, inequalities in power, opportunity, resources.
And what policy changes can you recommend that will bring laws to protect young women from child marriage?
Well, I'd start in the US, which is surprisingly behind compared to the rest of the world regarding legislation on child marriage. Now, I would instill the ratification and signature of both the CEDAW and CRC documents, and I would follow the UN recommendation of upping the minimum age of marriage to 18.
Here we have Andrea Roquisa with the World Health Organization to discuss abortion. How are laws created for abortion on a global standpoint?
So laws are created in most countries based on religion and culture. So in places in Latin America, like Chile and the Dominican Republic, these laws are very strict and they don't allow abortion under any circumstances. And this is very problematic because then we have women who are committing abortions illegally, and this is detrimental to their health, and it could even cost them death. The statistics are about like half of the women who have abortions, they do it illegally.
Andrea, what policies can you recommend to make abortion safe and available for women globally?
I would recommend that all the countries allow women to have access to abortions. And they should also provide sex education, and they should provide birth control.
All the way from Iran, we have Fatima Hanei to discuss women pay. How are women protected from gender pay gaps?
Not always the laws are against women. In some cultures, the dominant culture overrules the law and it leads to some discrimination against women. In some countries that men are a household leader, you can see pay gap in companies and especially in private places. For example, in Iran, there is a law that says that women and men have to get equal pay, but you can see in private places and private companies, women get much less than men, and they don't speak up or they don't fight against that discrimination because they are happy with what they are getting and they just keep quiet.
And what can be done to close these gender pay gaps?
I think now women and men also can fight against this discrimination and close the pay gap by standing up, and lawmakers and people who are paying people give equal opportunity and equal salary, not just on the gender, but just because they are paying everyone equal in their company.
Here we have Christian Thompson joining us with the World Values Survey. He'll be discussing maternity leave. Christian, is it beneficial for women to take a maternity leave?
It is. It gives women time to build a relationship with their child as well as recover from pregnancy.
Now, can you explain to us why maternity leave can be detrimental for the women?
Maternity leave hurts women because it can affect their pay. It reinforces the gender pay gap. It makes it so companies might not hire women as often, and women actually don't get paid during maternity leave.
How can we ensure women are still benefiting from maternity leave without affecting the company?
Companies can change their policies so they can make it so instead of paying for vacation days, they pay for maternity leave. On a policy level, the UN could mandate a maternity leave like a certain length, and they can mandate that companies and countries pay women during their maternity leave.
We see that gender is socially constructed to create a social stratification, which is used to justify the oppression of women. Regardless, throughout all these laws, we see that the common theme is women are being affected. It's not a secret that when we see women have autonomy, we also see these areas of society thriving. The first question is to acknowledge the issue and discuss it. Hopefully, moving forward, we can continue to speak to more of our scholars and get better feedback on a global basis so that we can help women around the world and improve their sexual health.